What's up, YouTube? Gallagher123123 back with another technology video for you all. This one, for some of you, might be a bit of a blast from the past. And if you've watched my channel, oh goodness, I think it was about 4 years ago, almost 5, no, it must be 5 now, we took a look at a Franklin talking children's dictionary. Well, Franklin also made a dictionary that was pretty popular in the blindness community. I'm not sure if these are still made, but I actually don't think so. We're going to take a look at one here and tell you a little bit about my history with it. This is one of the oldest pieces of technology that I have that is still in working order. So first, a bit about it. I saw one of these for the first time at Perkins School for the Blind. As a lot of you probably know, I was a student there. And they had these. And for my birthday in 2007, I got one. So, because I thought it was interesting and I wanted to explore a little bit of what it could do and, you know, see everything about it. So I got one that year. And 12 years later, nearly, this thing is still going strong. Everything works beautifully. So let's take a look at the hardware first, and then we will take a look at some of the features. Take a look at it as much as we can here. Okay, so on the kind of the front, the very top, toward the top of it, is a big display. It's kind of an interesting designed display. You can feel it. Below that is, well, a bunch of keys, including a Qwerty keyboard. Now, I'm not going to go into what each button is right now, because we will let the language master itself do it. On the left side, there's nothing. On the right side, now I may have the order of these mixed up. At the top, I think that's the headphone jack, and then there's an AC adapter port. This can also run on standard batteries, which the battery compartment is on the back along with a speaker. Oh, also on the side, I was forgetting about this, there are two knobs. The top one does something for the display, but what it does, it's hard for me to tell at the moment. I think it might adjust some of the contrast a little bit. It's not a lighted display, so I don't really know exactly what it does. Then below it is a volume knob. Okay, so by the way, if I didn't make clear, this is the Language Master Special Edition. I think they also did make a, I think, mainstream version of this that did not have all the talking features that this has. It could read the definitions aloud, but that was about it. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's power this on. Now, before I do that, one of the little different things I found interesting when I got this one is I found out now there is an older version of this which uses a male voice. Actually, it's the Keynote Gold. It must be recordings of Keynote voice that's found on some of the older Braille notes, and so it's a more robotic voice. But when I got this, I was surprised to hear a female voice coming out of it. So this is a slightly newer version. Okay, let's take a look. I'm going to power this on. Now, the power button is pretty easy to find, as it is kind of in a little bit, so you can feel it's maybe a bit recessed compared to the other buttons. So I'm going to press the button, and this will power on.
Resuming. You are at the type-in screen.
Turn that up a little bit. Okay, so it said that we were on the type-in screen, which would be a place if we want to look up a word. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the kind of bottom left button on the keypad. It's got a tactile dot. And when I do that,
Identify mode on.
it said identify mode on. And now we are going to run through all of the buttons on this device, starting with the top row, very top. So just below the display, we have
Read.
the read key. Next to that,
Spell.
a spell key.
Play.
Play. That brings up some games, which we'll look at some.
Where.
It's like a where am I key. Reads, a little bit of like context so you can know where you are.
Menu.
Menu. That brings you into your settings. Take a quick look in there.
Help.
Help is like a little guide to using the device.
Clear.
Clear clears your entry.
On off.
And then on off is the very right. So now moving into like the keyboard area, we have
Say.
the say key, which will kind of say like where you are.
Message.
Message, you can have a list of messages on here that the system can read to you.
List.
You can have a list of words, similar thing, but the list of words you can also use for the games.
Add.
Add, that will add a word or message to your message or regular word list.
Remove.
Remove, same idea.
Dictionary.
Dictionary activates like the dictionary mode.
Thesaurus.
This does have a thesaurus.
Classmates.
Classmates, I actually drawing a blank as to what that did.
Grammar.
Grammar, something like grammar information.
Confusables.
Confusables.
Back.
You have a back. Then next to that you have a speed control. Sorry, that's the clock in the background. So if we go press it up,
Faster.
it would make it go faster.
Slower.
And down goes slower. Now we get into, below that, we get into the actual QWERTY keyboard. I won't press all this because
Qwerty.
actually, yeah, I'll go through them real quick so you can see the layout because there are some little differences, so do it quickly.
Qwertyuiop
And next to the hyphen is closer to where the
slower.
slower key is. Okay. Below that now we start with
A S D F G H J K L apostrophe.
and right next to that, kind of going through some of the different lines, is
Enter.
enter. Okay, so right then the next row is identify, which I won't press till we're done. Then we have
Z
Z,
X C V B N M asterisk period up.
okay, then we enter into the arrow pad. So we have an up,
Down, left, right,
up, down, left, right, arrow pad. Then we have
shift,
the next row is a shift key,
reverse,
reverse,
forward,
forward,
space,
space bar,
question mark,
question mark.
left,
Okay, now we're back into the arrow pad.
right,
So those are all of the buttons on the device. I'll now press the identify key again,
identify mode off,
and it is off. Now, just so I can make sure we're on the main screen, I'm going to press the clear button, which is just over to the left from the power button,
ready,
and it says ready. So there's a lot you can do here, but from this screen, one of the big things you might want to do is look up a word. So let's give that a shot. I will type in,
I, B,
oops.
back, erasing B,
Okay, so I found the back key, which is, it's hard for me to totally describe. It's near where the speed control was.
W.
Oops. Do it again.
Back. Erase. E. R. N. E. T.
Okay, so I've typed in a word and I'll press enter.
Internet. Definition.
And why not? We looked up internet. Well, just to show you the display does work. But as you can see, it's not lit up. Let's see if I can show what that knob on the side does. Yeah, I'm not really noticing anything on camera. Okay, so I've typed in internet and I hit enter and it confirmed the word that we typed and said the definition was loaded. So let's press the read key.
Internet. Noun. An electronic communications network that connects computer networks worldwide.
So it reads it and then it makes that little doo-doo to signify that it's done reading. Now if we use the arrow keys,
Networks. Computer. Networks.
so I'm using left and right,
Worldwide. Net. Computer. Connects. That. Network.
so let's say we wanted to spell network. If we use the spell key, which is right next to say on the top row, second key from the right, so if I press it,
N. E.
and you keep pressing it, it'll go through each letter.
T. W. O. R. K.
I believe,
N.
yep, it'll start going around again. Or you could probably also hit say.
Network that connects.
It goes back from
computer
there.
Networks worldwide.
Now, I want to see, I'm trying to remember if you can do this or not.
Networks. Computer.
So now we have computer highlighted. If we press enter,
Computer. Definition.
which again is, I'm sorry, I'm not doing the best job here at explaining where the keys are. I apologize for that. There are just so many buttons. Even I have a bit of trouble at times remembering where things are. And I don't usually have that problem. But okay, so we've loaded up computer, and we'll read this too.
Computer. Noun. Plural. Computers. A programmable electronic device that can store, retrieve, and process data.
Okay, so now, let's say we're done with this one. We can press clear,
Ready.
and it says it's ready again. And we could type in another word. So, let's see. I'll type in one more word to show you how that works. Do.
C. H. O. I. R.
And press enter.
Choir. Definition.
Put in choir just to see what it says. And I'll press read.
Choir. Noun. Plural. Choirs. Sense one. An organized company of singers, especially in a church. Sense two. The part of a church occupied by the singers.
And there we go. Now, if I go back,
Ready.
when you hit back, the word that you typed in is still there. So I think we can verify that by pressing the where key, which is on that first group, the fourth button.
You are at the type-in screen. You have typed C-H-O-I-R.
Okay, so it spells it, but it tells you that that's what you've typed, and you can verify it that way. Now, the whole saving a word list thing, now that we've typed in a word, we can press the add button, which is in the second row, it's the fourth button, and it will add it to our list.
Word added. Ready.
And it said word added. Now I believe it does clear it after that point.
You are at the type-in screen.
Yep. I used the where key to verify that. But now, for example, if I hit the list key,
User list
choir is in there.
Ready.
Now, let's add another word to it, because I'll show you, we'll look at some of the ways that the list feature can be cool. So I'll type in internet again.
INTERNET.
Yay, I typed it in without making any mistakes. Pretty cool. So now I'll press the add key again.
Internet. Word added. Ready.
Okay. Now that time it said internet and then it said word added. Let's see, I'll add one more to the list. Let's see. Alright, I'll do piano, I think. Let's try this.
O.
Oh, of course I made a mistake.
Back. Erasing O.
So I'll erase that.
P. I. A. N. I. Back. O.
There we go. Hit add.
Word added. Ready.
That was weird. That time it just said word added. So that is how adding things to a list works. Now, we're going to move into that a little bit. I won't show every feature of this, could be here all day, but the list is kind of cool, so I do want to show it. So if you go into your list,
User list. A. Choir.
with the list key, which is the third, in the second row, third key, I think that might be the best way for me to refer to this. So it said A, choir. These are assigned letters. So if you remember the letter of the word, you can, like the position. So instead of them being numbered, they're lettered. So A is choir. The last one we added was piano, which was C. So let's press C.
C. Piano.
So you can move that way, or you can just use your arrows.
B. Internet. A. Choir. B. Internet. C. Piano. No more.
And I hit the button and it said there were no more, because that was the last one. So you can review it. Of course, you could
Piano.
hit the spell key to learn how it's spelled. But where I think the list feature shines,
Ready.
in fact, I still use this feature, are the games. Now, let's hit the play key, which is the first row, third key.
Select a game. 10 games. A. Keyboard wizard.
So it said there are 10 games that we could play. Keyboard wizard. I'll go through all these first.
B. Flashcards.
Flashcards.
C. Hangman.
Hangman. Love their Hangman game here.
D. Anagrams.
Anagrams.
E. Jumble.
Jumble.
F. Word builder.
Word builder.
G. Word train.
Word train.
H. Word blaster.
Word blaster.
I. Memory challenge.
Memory challenge.
J. Deduction.
And deduction. I'll show you some with that use the list feature first. And yeah, okay, so let's try flashcards, which was B,
B. Flashcards.
and press enter.
Word menu. Right 4 side menu. Press enter to start the game. Press down or up to hear the next or previous item. The current highlighted item is all.
Okay, so it gave us some instructions that we are currently in the words menu. Now here's where we select what source we want the words from. So we can use all the words in the dictionary.
Elementary.
Elementary.
Intermediate.
Intermediate.
Advanced.
Advanced.
Expert.
Expert.
SAT.
SAT.
User list.
User list.
No more.
And that's the end of it. So we'll select user list. But now if I go to the right for size,
Side menu. Left forward menu. Random. No more.
okay, we just have random here because we're using the list.
Word menu.
So I went to the
Right
left,
4 side menu. User list.
and now I'll press enter to start the game.
Piano. P-I-A-N-O. Press space to continue. Press enter for definition. Choir. C-H.
So it just goes through and spells them. It's kind of boring.
Press space to continue. Press enter for definition.
Okay, so now I'll use the back key to go back to the games list.
Word menu.
Oh, go back to the
Right
words
side
menu, so I'll press it one more time.
Select a game. 10 games. B. Flashcards.
And I'll show you Hangman.
C. Hangman.
So I'll press enter to open Hangman.
Word menu. Right 4 side menu. Left 4 tried menu. Press enter to start the game. Press down or up to hear the next or previous item. The current highlighted item is user list.
Now I remembered that we used user list in the last game, but we'll see what's here. Go up to the top.
Int. All. No more.
Okay, so all is first.
Elementary.
Elementary.
Intermediate.
Intermediate.
Advanced.
Advanced.
Expert.
Expert.
SAT.
SAT.
User list.
User list. And now, I believe we have one more option.
Enter your own.
Enter your own. This is good for if you're playing the game with 2 players. I think. But it's cool. Okay.
User list.
So we'll select user list and I'll show how this works.
Hidden word has 5 letters. Space. 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 10 guesses left. No missed letters yet.
Okay, so we have 10 guesses to guess the right letters. Let's start with a vowel to A.
A. Sorry, not in the word. 9 guesses left.
Try E.
E. Sorry, not in the word. 8 guesses left. I. Good letter. Space. 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 I. Space. O. Good letter. Space. Space. O. I. Space.
So basically you want to try and get the word.
L. Sorry, not in the word. 7 guesses left. R. Good letter. Space. Space. O. I. R.
Okay, and now I see what it is.
H. Good letter. Space. H. O. I. R. C. Good letter. You win. 1-1. Lost 0.
So it says that we won 1 game and we lost 0. Now, we'll play another one and I'll get it wrong, just so you can hear what happens. In a second, it'll prompt us with what to do, I think.
Hidden word is choir. Press space to continue. Press enter for definition.
So we'll press space to continue.
Hidden word has 5 letters. Space. 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 10 guesses left. No missed letters yet.
Pretty sure I know what it is, but I'll put in 1 or 2 correct.
A. Good letter. Space. Space. A. Space. Space. N. Good letter. Space. Space. A. N. Space. G. Sorry, not in the word. 9 guesses left. E. Sorry, not in the word. 8 guesses left. R. Sorry, not in the word.
Now,
7
if you already
guesses
used a
left.
letter,
E. You already used that.
it doesn't count against you, it just says you've already used it.
A. You already used that. I. Good letter. Space. I. A. N. Space. J. Sorry, not in the word. 6 guesses left. N. You already used that. G. You already
I'm just
used
pressing
that.
random
F.
letters,
Sorry. D. Sorry.
and I'll just do that.
E. You already. R. You already used V. Sorry, not B. Sorry, not M. Sorry, not in the word. 1 guess left.
Okay, we have 1 guess left, and we will...
D. You already used that.
Oh, I did D already. Let's try...
S. Sorry, not in the word. Sorry, you lost. 1-1, lost 1. Hidden word is piano. Press space to continue. Press enter for definition.
Let's go back into the games menu. I'll use the back key.
Words menu. Right 4 side menu. Left 4 tried menu. Press enter. Select a game.
And I'll just quickly show you
D. Anagram. I. Memory challenge.
Memory Challenge.
Words menu. Right 4.
No.
S8. User list.
It's already on our list, so just press enter to start it.
1. Piano. P-I-A-N-O. Waiting for word. 1.
Basically, you just have to remember each word. It'll keep adding.
O. Back. P-I-A-N-I. Back. O. Piano. Correct. You space to continue. Press enter for definition. 1. Piano, P-I-A-N-O. 2. Choir, C-H-O-I-R. Waiting for word. 1. O. Back, O.
Aye.
Back, erasing.
It's a hard keyboard to type on, but I think you get the idea, so I'll just exit out of that.
Ready.
I just use the clear key. I'll show you one more game that helps you learn the keyboard a little bit. Okay, so let's go back into the games menu with the play key.
Select a game. 10 games. Memory challenge.
And I'll show you Keyboard Wizard.
A keyboard wizard.
And we'll press the enter key.
Speed menu. Press enter to start the game. Press down or up to hear the next or previous item. The current highlighted item is 5, medium.
Okay, so medium is selected. And we'll just select that by pressing enter.
Question mark.
So your goal
You got me.
is to get it
Back.
before it goes to the bottom.
You got me. Right. You got
So I'm
me.
looking for the right.
H.
So I need to find the H key.
You got me. List. You got me. Apostrophe.
Oh, I got it.
You got me. Thesaurus.
Now I'll let you go so you can hear it.
E. Spell. N. D. Ready.
That's enough of that, I think. But you get the idea. Okay, now I will show you the message list feature. So here, basically, if you just type in something. So let's do
H. E. L. L. O. Space. E. V. E. R. U. Back. Y.
hard typing one-handed, plus these keys are badly arranged.
O. N. E.
And then you finish typing your message and hit add.
Message added. Ready.
So if I hit the message list key, which is the second row, second key,
Message list. A. Hello everyone.
it says it.
Ready.
Real quick, I'll show you what happens, by the way, if you type in something that's not in the dictionary. Like, let's see. Type in Mac.
M.
Don't think Mac is in there.
C. Multiple forms. 2 entries.
Oh.
Mac.
So I'll spell it.
Cap M. A. C.
Oh, let's see what this is. Maybe it is.
Mac. Definition.
Let's see what this is.
Mac. Proper. Noun. A. Person.
Oh, the
Apostrophe.
name.
S. Given name.
So it doesn't have the computer in there.
Ready.
Or if we put in, let's see.
M. I. C. R. O. S. O. F. T. Correcting.
There we go.
Correction list. 10 entries. Microcosm.
See, it doesn't have it, so it tries to correct it.
Ready.
Finally, I want to show you some of the settings, and because there's short settings menu, so let's do this. I will go ahead and press the menu key, which is the second group on the first row.
Speech menu. Right for setup menu. Press enter when you hear the item you want. Press down or up to hear the next or previous item. The current highlighted item is turn off full speech mode.
So it says the highlighted option, which is the first option here, is to turn off full speech mode. This would basically mean it wouldn't read the menus, so I'll show you. So I just hit enter on it. And you can hear it's not speaking.
Full speech mode turned on. Ready.
So I just turned it back on, and it is ready. Let's continue. I'll go back into the menu.
Speech menu. Right. Turn off keyboard echo.
So then we have an option for keyboard echo. As you've noticed, this does have key echo. And you could turn it off with this menu item.
Turn off key click.
That little beep you're hearing is the key click. So that could be turned off if you don't want it.
Speak letters as words.
You can have the speak letters using the phonetic alphabet. So I'll show you what this does.
Phonetic spelling is turned on. Ready.
I have fond memories of this, actually. One of the ones at Perkins was in this mode, and we had no idea why it was doing this. And then I got mine and figured it out. So now if I type in letters.
India. November. Tango. Echo. Romeo. November. Echo. Tango. Internet. Definition. Ready.
It's using the phonetic alphabet.
Hotel. Echo. Lima. Lima. Oscar. Ready.
So let's turn that off before it drives me crazy. Back at
Speech
the
menu.
setup menu and down arrow.
Turn off keyboard. Turn off key click. Speak letters normally.
And we'll enable speak letters normally.
Normal spelling is turned on. Ready.
And we'll go back in.
Turn off key click. Speak letters as word. Turn off menu instructions.
So that whole thing with, press up or down to hear the next or previous item, all those hints, you can turn those off, and actually it would sound,
Menu instructions are turned off. Ready.
it'll sound like this.
Speech menu. The current highlighted item is turn off full speech mode.
So that is the speech menu. Now we have some other settings, so if I use the right arrow,
Setup menu. Use large type.
you can set up it to use large font,
Set shut off time.
automatic shut off, you can,
Shut off time menu. 3 minutes. 2 minutes. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. 4 minutes. 5 minutes. 6 minutes. No more.
so you can have it shut off after 1 to 6 minutes.
No more. 5 minutes.
Okay,
4.
we'll
3
leave it on
minutes.
3 and press enter.
Setup menu. Set shut off time. Display capital letters only.
You could set it to display capital letters only. So it's easier for you to read capitals. You can have everything appear as capital letters.
Do not display inflections.
Do not display inflection. I never figured out what that does exactly. But that's pretty much all the main menu settings.
Ready.
Go back to the main screen. So I think that's pretty much everything. I've always been meaning to do a review of this gadget for a while. As I said, it's one of the pieces of technology I've had for a long time, almost 12 years. 12 years in December. So that would be fun to take a look at it, show you some of the features. Probably went into more in depth than we needed to for this, but then again, it's been a while since I've done a tech video, so I thought this would be a fun one. So power it off. Actually, I just did it. You press
Ready.
the power button and it just clicks off. The older version now, which is the one with the male, I believe, Keynote Gold speech, when you power it off would be like, goodbye. So I thought it was interesting that this one just silently shuts off. And also, I don't believe the Keynote Gold one resumed where you were. This one would. So if we were in the list,
User list. Acquire.
I turn it off, I'll put it back on.
Resuming. This is your user word list. The current highlighted item is choir. This word has classmate unconfusable information.
Okay, so this tells you as classmates and confusable information, which we didn't look at. There's so much here, it's hard to cover it all. I mean, you can also get help pretty much wherever you are.
Getting help. To look up a word. Type it in and press
Okay, I'll stop that. I don't know why it reads like that, by the way. But that's the way it reads a lot of the stuff on here. But, okay, I'll power it off. I think that's everything, you know? Again, you know, this might be a blast from the past for some. And if it is, cool. Love to get my hands on the older model, and if I ever do, we'll do a little comparison of the speech and things like that. But because it's actually quite interesting to hear the differences. But again, that is the Franklin Language Master Special Edition. Don't remember the exact model number. This might be like SEV. Got this in December 2007. It's hard to believe it's 12 years old. Again, I don't think they make these anymore. So, let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this, if you'd like more historical tech reviews, I like making these, so if you want more, let me know. Lots of cool stuff planned, so stay tuned, everyone. So, again, thanks for watching this, and I will see you in the next video.
We hope you have enjoyed this video. If so, please subscribe for more, and feel free to comment. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, at Gallagher123123. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.